I'm Betsy.
And I'm Chris, and we're the founders of the Leonidas Foundation. We host an annual summer charity polo match called Polo for Babies, and we raise money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
It's the hospital that saved our daughter's life.
We specifically raise money for the Neonatal Institute. That's the part of the hospital that most positively affected us. And when someone saves someone in your family, you do whatever you can to give back.
So we wanted to tell our story because a lot of this is about raising money, but for us, it's more than that. We're a regular family that just happened to go through something crazy, like unfortunately a lot of families do, but we happen to have the most amazing outcome. So for us, this event is also really about people helping people and giving hope. So here goes.
Betsy had developed a summer virus in July, and when you're in late-term pregnancy, this virus can put you into labor. And if you're an infant, it can be deadly. It's called the enterovirus, and there are tons of strains of enterovirus, but the bottom line is that they could be deadly.
So I was 35 weeks pregnant and went into labor, and Adeline was born via emergency C-section. Everything seemed okay. There were issues, but they were just preemie issues and didn't seem too serious. I was really the sick one, so they sent us home from the hospital. And 7 days later, when you go in for your regular weight check, something was wrong. Adeline was so lethargic, wouldn't eat a drop, and she had lost over 10% of her body weight, which is the big red flag. So we were sent to Good Sam here in Cincinnati for a feeding tube, which was devastating at the time. But by the time we got to Good Sam and the feeding tube was in and they ran their blood work, just sort of standard stuff, that's really when our world came crashing down. Her liver numbers were horrible. She was going into liver failure. Her brain was bleeding. And then started the ultrasounds and the spinal taps and the re-spinal taps and the screaming and eventually silence, which was horrifying. And then the doctors were saying they didn't know if she was going to make it through the night.
Fortunately for us, our doctor at Good Sam had a very close friend at Children's Hospital, Dr. Melton. And Dr. Melton and her talked, and they hypothesized that maybe this could be the enterovirus. And we were excited that maybe there was a path that we could progress down, that we could get a few more answers. So Adeline was moved to Children's Hospital, and it was really difficult because we weren't able to ride in the ambulance with her. But we got there, and after a few hours of them evaluating Adeline, they kind of gave us the lowdown that her liver had unfortunately gone into failure. And being her size, only a couple of pounds, a transplant was out of the question. So the only option was that this liver would self-regenerate, which was difficult. And her brain bleed had progressed to a level 3 or stage 3 brain bleed, which is on a scale of 1 to 4, which is pretty devastating.
Not good news. But all we really wanted was a positive outcome, and that's just what we kept focused on. So we shared our hopes and our updates with our family and with our friends, and our friends told their friends who told their friends who told their friends. And before you knew it, we had hundreds of messages pouring in for Adeline. You know, people from all over the country, and honestly, all over the world were praying for Adeline. There was an ashram in India that were dedicating nightly energy services to her. People were performing Reiki. People told me they were praying in their yoga classes. People went to church. People cried for us. People thought about us all day and every day, and we felt every single bit of it. I have to say, that's what gave us the strength and gave Adeline the strength to just fight as hard as we could. She's amazing, but I have to tell you, it's that people helping people and giving us hope and being there for us that really turned it around for us.
Over the first couple of days, it was really bad. You know, nothing was really progressing, and as time went by, we learned a lot about the human body, and we watched the numbers, and we had some great nurses and doctors, and things started to improve. The numbers started to go in the right direction. The transfusions and the transplants and the treatments of IVIG and plasma and platelets, all coming from Hawksworth, really started to work, and the dosages started to get further and further apart, which meant her body was supplementing the dosages and starting to rebuild itself. So we really started to see a positive outcome after a week or two, and we had hoped that she was going to make it.
So then came the brain. During the whole time that we were there for about a month, Chris and I never left her side. We were afraid to go anywhere to eat. We slept there every night. We joked that we made it our dorm room. We literally just never left. And there were so many people within the Children's Hospital community that reached out to us and just wanted to help and wanted, to help us through our journey. And there was this massage therapist, and she was, came by often, was like, can I help you relax, whatever. And finally on day 17, we said yes. So it was my turn, and she had literally just started massaging my hand when, I'll never forget, Chris poked his head in and said that the doctors were in our room and that they had Adeline's brain scan back. And so I got up and we walked down in silence the hallway, and it just felt like the longest walk of my life. But it was to the best news ever.
So we really had received the best news. There was really going to be minimal damage to just her frontal lobe of the brain, and she should have a positive outcome. The doctors said they really believed that a lot of her outcome was due to the positivity of us and our friends and family and the well wishes and the prayers and what we like to call the good vibrations we were receiving. The outcome was going to be good. We were sent home about 2 weeks later with a lot of recovering to do, but a healthy girl.
So Children's has taken care of us ever since. Adeline has been an outpatient of the liver team, the nephrology team, the neurology team, the high-risk clinic, what else?
OT, PT.
Neurology, clinical trial, all of this for the first 2 years of her life. Dr. Stephanie Marihar was her high-risk doctor, and took absolute meticulous care of Adeline and ensured that she had a full recovery. And so on her second birthday, or shortly after, Adeline was released from Children's Hospital as a healthy patient. And so the only physical sign of this nightmare that Adeline still has is this scar. It's on her right leg, it's on her calf, right below her knee, and it's where her PICC line was, that was part of the healing process, and that's it. Just a little tiny scar on her leg. This girl is amazing and an absolute miracle.
So, you guys need to come to the event. It will surely be the hottest day of the year, and we won't apologize for that. You'll have a lot of fun, and most importantly, you'll be helping people like us, or really children like Adeline, with the positive outcome that we received. It really does matter. The past 2 years we've done the event, we've been able to raise over $50,000 and donate it to the hospital. So we hope you'll come out and join us on August 27th.
Yep, so as Chris said, the event is August 27th. Gates open at 2, match starts at 4. Most importantly, if you want to buy tickets or if you're able to donate for the cause, go to poloforbabies.com. And if you want to hear more about the event or just see what we're up to, check us out on Facebook under Polo for Babies. Hope you guys can make it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Brand new.